Hi, everybody.
Hey there.
Welcome,
To Tarot for Today. Divine Dabblings with,
Oberon.
and me, Banshee.
And let me be the first to say Happy New Year.
You beat me to it. Hey, we brought out the goddess Fortuna here, who's Lady Luck in a sense, and
Look at all that money at her feet.
look at all that money at her feet there. That's right. Wishing everybody luck and success in this new year, as well, of course, as good health, because what is all of that without good health?
Wow, everybody's lining up. Hi, everybody.
Oh,
Hi,
Sandy's
Masonic.
come. I see Merwin.
Warda,
All right, hold
Sandy,
on. Warda,
Jacob.
I got Merwin down after Jay. Oh, yeah, I got Masonic down. Okay, and let's see who else. Sandy. Did I miss anybody? I'm going to go through the list as I have it, and we'll get started in just a minute. Masonic's here. Balkus, Jacob, Warda, Jay, Merwin, and Sandy. So that's what we've got so far on this great Thursday night. And yeah, the new year has just begun, and wishing you the best. Absolutely. Uh-oh. I might have to move Lady Luck.
Sonny is here to give his greeting as well, or something.
Something that might approximate that.
We kind of figured it out. It seems like because we have one or more monitors so we can watch ourselves in the chat, he likes watching us on computer too. So
He does. He does
kind
apparently.
of odd. Hello there.
Oh dear, he's saying hi to the microphone. Well, anyway, now that
He is
he's
amazing,
totally
Jacob. Thank
destroyed
you.
my cards here, I was just playing with my Garden Dragons deck, the Field Guide to Garden Dragons. This cute little whimsical garden deck from U.S. Games. Said I should be on the defensive tonight. I'm not sure why. Are we going to disagree, Mr. O?
Oh, I know better than that.
Oh, okay,
I hope.
good. The moon is in Aries tonight, so if you're wondering why I'm still wearing a Christmassy kind of shirt, it's the only warm red shirt I had to go along with moon in Aries energy, which of course is my sign, my power.
So I don't think we have a lot of announcements before we start. I will just remind that we will be back again on Sunday from 2 to 4 Eastern Standard Time. So there's that. And we just love doing this twice a week for you guys. So
Well, what
you got
about...
something to say?
Yeah, I really mean it. I am going to be starting my Material Matters soon, which is basically the corollary to his emotional exchanges. So probably, I swear, in another week to 2 weeks, it will begin on Mondays, where you'll be seeing videos of me doing readings on the material side of life, and he's doing the emotional side of life.
And also, you owe us another segment of Soul Stories.
Oh, I haven't forgotten, really. It's just been really busy around here.
The occasional feature that you will have that talks about signs and synchronicities,
Yes.
messages from the spirit, from her own personal stories, or sometimes shared ones between us. Or we also invite others to let us know what's going on too. Maybe you have a soul story you want to tell us.
Right. I'm hoping this encourages people to look at their lives and their experiences. I mean, we get signs and symbols and synchronicities all the time happening around us. I've had some really unusual ones that I'm going to share, and maybe some that are not so unusual, and we can compare notes. I mean, I'd love to hear your feedback on these things. My next one that I've been promising is going to be about a little bit of lottery luck, and well, I don't want to give too much away about this. There's going to be a few segments on lottery luck, but there's going to be other segments on lucky occurrences. But the lottery luck, it's very nuanced. There's a couple of different ways this has happened for me, and I want to explore each modality, the way they happen, because they are unique. So anyway, I have Bill Bonnie joined us. Hi, Bill Bonnie. You are on the list. I will go over the list again in a minute. And one final thing we wanted to talk about, maybe the modality.
Right, and we don't even have a title for that.
No.
It'll be the monthly modality reading.
Right. Monthly modality reading.
Where there was an idea about how a lot of times, sometimes when we're doing astrology and tarot, we read for all of the water signs and all of the air signs and all of the fire signs. But there are other ways that astrology sort of organizes and arranges the signs of the zodiac. And one of those is known as the modalities. And there are basically three modalities that work through four signs from each of the elements. The modalities are the fixed, the cardinal, and the mutable. And there is a elemental sign for each of those qualities. So all of the signs actually go into one of those qualities pretty much. And
so we're going to explore them with these tarot readings.
It's a really cool reading. Go
readings, actually, because I'm creating one based on for each of the modalities. So everybody will, each modality will have their own specific spread that I'm creating. And it's based on the energies of that modality, the signs within that modality. All those energies are going to contribute to the positions in the spread. I've been thinking this a lot.
It's really challenging, and
yes.
It basically came from an idea I had, and oh my goodness, she has totally come up with something really awesome
ways
for
to complicate it.
I probably couldn't have come up, so all hail the Banshee.
Well, we'll see. It hasn't happened yet, so you'll have to let us know what you think once we premiere those videos. So I also have Libra Cusp down, and I see Violet Ann is here. Okay, welcome
Libra
back,
Cusp
Violet Ann.
gambled and won, but not much. But we had mentioned that they should try that. So, well, that's nice.
Won, not much, but yeah, okay. Well, that's cool that you won something. It's always good to get some affirmation from the universe. I have to crack up because, I got to share this because one day this week I had just about had it with the lottery, and I said, I'm going to quit for a while unless I get a sign today that I should keep going. And I won $100. And actually, I walked away with $100 because I was playing off of some previous winnings. So I really didn't play off of my own money at all, which was kind of nice. So I'm still playing, but I'm trying to moderate it a bit because, you always got to be careful, and you got to make sure, you're not losing more than you're gaining. That's the goal here, whether you win a lot or not. All right.
Let's get going.
We're going to have to get going because we got a lot of people. And I see Jake. Okay, so here is the first. Well, I'm going to give the whole order and then the first three up so you'll know who you are. So Masonic, you're first. Balkis, Jacob, Warda, Jay, Merwin, Sandy, Bilbani, and Libra Cusp, and Violet Ann. All right, so we're going to get rolling. And what decks are you using, Mr. O?
Well, today I'm using the, of course, Eternal Dame Fortune deck, which I like. And I also have the popular, nearly by demand, Nefertari's Tarots, which has this amazing gold sheen on each of the cards. So I'll be using that at some point, too.
Somebody on Twitter.
What are the karmic lessons you have to learn?
Some of the comments on Twitter were about using a deck. I can't remember which one that was gilded in gold. They just got this deck, and they were talking about people love that deck because of that. And I think that deck of yours proves that theory. Well, today, I'm kind of inspired by somebody that I correspond with on Twitter, at Miss Joyce Tarot. She's been using sometimes the After Tarot in her readings. And I had a deck, and I haven't been using it a lot, but I really liked some of the readings she was doing with it, and I got inspired to pull that out today. So I have the After Tarot, which is by Corinne Kenner, who's done some wonderful books on tarot and journaling and writing, which I like. And then I'm using the Ciro Marchetti Tarot Grand Lux today. So that's a U.S. Games deck. And I don't know if his name is Marchetti or Marchetti. I am probably saying it wrong, but he is amazing, and his decks are wonderful.
All right, I've warmed these up for Masonic's question.
Okay.
What are the
You love
karmic
Miss
lessons?
Joyce. Yeah, she's amazing. She's awesome. She does, I don't know if they come out every day, but she does daily readings pretty much. Little videos that she posts to Twitter, which are really nice. And just very good stuff from Miss Joyce. And she's got a good tarot business going, I would think. Certainly deservedly so. We had a great holiday. It was very relaxing for me because I've been off work since the day after the Friday before Christmas. So I am like so relaxed right now. I can't even begin to tell you. But
Tree?
somebody had to go back to work today.
Well, I had to go back to work several days
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
because everybody else in my department took the day off with the exception of one other person. So we had to split our shifts because we're basically covering more like a 12-hour shift between us. So
Sorry for you. Anyway,
I'm
go
trying
ahead.
to...
Well, oh, you wanted to know what? Well,
3?
I think that for karmic lessons, it's 3.
Uh-oh.
Wow, Masonic. Well, this probably won't be new to you.
You have the King of Coins reversed. You have the Tower. And then you have the Four of Cups.
And then you have the 4 of Cups. Wow, this is very interesting to me. It seems like, what are you doing?
I did that for Masonic.
Okay.
And I dropped my cards.
And then he dropped all of his cards. Okay, why don't you start with the King of Coins there?
Okay, with the King of Coins reversed,
Karmic lessons are about money, huh? Materiality?
yeah, this sounds a little bit material, and this is to me saying that probably what you need to understand or feel is that to some degree being in control of your finances isn't exactly going to be a strong thing for you. It may be more likely that you're going to have ups and downs, or you're not going to have a sense of control that you might want with that. Did you want to remark on that?
Well, I think that, yeah, the lessons are basically to, become a better manager of resources and your life, basically. I
Yeah,
think
we could extend it that way.
I think that that's basically what that card is saying. And if you couple it with the next card, which nobody likes to see upright, well, we'd rather see it upright. I take that back. The Tower, because the Tower is, you go through, you learn a lot and you learn lessons through crisis. Maybe you want to stop being that kind of crisis manager there, Masonic. But I feel that, in some ways, you learn a lot from the crises, which is a good, healthy thing. You should be able to move on. And the 4 of Cups, which is upright or reversed?
That's right.
It's upright. The 4 of Cups indicates to me that, you really need to take in the lessons that, you are learning and determine your next course of action based on what you've learned. Not so much, the whole process of what you've went through, but what the takeaways are from that experience.
Well, we are talking about karma, so I just want to be clear that in my feeling, the Tower really talks about lessons that don't come to you because of mistakes you've made, but come to you because they are things you need to know, and it is because it's karma. And a lot of times it has to be about what are those kind of things that hold you back or that separate you from your goals or your passions, that kind of thing. So having said that, I do see a little bit of a corollary with the 4 of Cups, thinking that some of that is maybe to some degree you haven't been enough of a person of action, and that you haven't taken certain chances. You've just been more considering them. So you may have to consider taking some chances, but you should try to make careful chances, of course, and I think you would.
Thoughtful.
Thoughtful choices.
Thoughtful
yes.
choices. Yeah, so it does look like some rockiness there, Masonic, but they're trying to get you to understand that that's, your guides and that are trying to get you to understand that you have to become a stronger manager of the self. Rescue you? Well, okay. So we have the rope here, the whip, also known as, and we also have the ship in the Lenormand. And basically, Masonic, what that's telling me is that there's some abrupt changes coming, sudden, might be shocking in some ways, just with, their maybe the rapidity that they come. I think something's happening soon.
This means changes?
Yeah, some major changes, or possibly even a move of some sort or travel.
This was first, right?
Yeah.
Could it mean that it could be an end to some changes?
No.
Okay.
Well, because the rope, it basically means something's coming on fast.
Ah, okay.
Or aggressively. It can be
I thought
aggression
it also ended
as
things
well.
too. No, I'm thinking of a different card.
Yeah.
Okay, well then I got that too.
He'll leave that one with me, I guess. So yeah, that's basically what I got. And by the way, today I'm using the expanded version of the Lenormand cards again that Ciro Marchetti did, and so there'll be some not your run-of-the-mill usual Lenormand cards in the reading that might pop up, and I'll mention that when they come up. Anything else you want to add to that? You have some deep thoughts there?
That in final thought, that the idea about what your karmic lessons are mostly to understand that you will have them a lot, and that a lot of this is not just understanding what the lessons are, but being able to act on them and being able to better manage them, as Banshee says.
Right,
So,
right. Whip you into shape. Well, that's what life does. Sad to say, that's the way it is for a lot of us.
Miracle Whip.
Miracle Whip.
It's a little bit softer, but it's got a little tang.
No, not too many people use them, Sandy. A lot of people gravitate to tarot now. Lenormand is really from, the era of more gypsy style fortune telling. And, I think it's been updated and expanded on a little bit over time. But I like it for that reason, because that's my roots. I came from those roots, reading with a regular deck of playing cards.
Well, in a way, it's sort of my roots, too, because I didn't really get a tarot set until I was around 17. But a few years before that, I was using the famous Gypsy Witch fortune-telling cards.
Which are very similar.
And I also had one of the little Dell pocket books about how to read the cards, and I think it was a 21 or 36 card method. And I remember using those regular cards too. And I knew people in my neighborhood who had some form of the Lenormand, or it might have been called something different. So that was kind of whip it good.
Focus wants a January reading.
All right, Focus. What's coming to you in January? Are we doing your deck, I guess?
We can.
All right, you're already shuffling.
I'm going to use the After Tarot.
Today I'm wearing my electric blue shirt. Everybody says, "Oh, I love that blue shirt."
Well.
And then I say, "Does it make my eyes look bluer?" And
your eyes are not blue.
No one will admit that it does.
That's because your eyes are not blue.
What color are they, Madam Banshee?
They're chameleon eyes. I've always said he has chameleon eyes because
what does that mean?
They do seem to change with whatever shirt he's wearing.
So they never look blue?
Sometimes when he's wearing blue, they might have a steely kind of almost
more
blue.
like a grayish blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when he wears green, and then the brown stuff, it just looks like I can't figure your eyes out, to be honest with you.
On my license, it says green, blue, or something like that, blue-green.
Well, I'm going to do a card a week for you there, Balkus, and we'll see what's going on here.
Kitty jumps on and off. Kitty may be back.
Yeah, the kitty will be back, by the way. That is Sonny Bilbani. And believe me, he will be back. He always makes a few appearances.
His presence is noteworthy.
He is the main cat who you will see, but occasionally one of our other three will pop up here. Well, actually,
Right.
our other two, I should say. We have three cats. Okay, so for the first week, we have the Six of Pentacles upright, and it's kind of indicating it's a time to be giving of yourself in some way. You know, being a little bit generous in spirit, or financially helping somebody out in need, somebody who maybe needs a little emotional support, even could be. I feel that this is a time this week where you should focus a little of your energies on that, because maybe, I always say what you put out to the universe, you get back.
And it's kind of like this is something that's just coming from you unbidden. It's not really like anybody said, "Hey, brother, can you spare a dime?" It was really like you're going to think about that, or you will be in the position of saying, "Yeah, I can do that. I can help out." And maybe it's not necessarily money. Maybe it's somebody's going to ask you if you want to
Right.
volunteer an hour at a desk of some sort, or
Right.
just doing something. So keep in mind, that this is the season still to do a little giving. Our next card for the second week
The
is the
sec-
Knight of Cups reverse.
yeah, the second week is the Knight of Cups reversed, and this could be a situation of uh, a downturn with a relationship, maybe plan if you're planning on meeting somebody, it doesn't happen. Maybe a relationship has got some arguing going on, some emotions being exchanged. I feel that. Go ahead.
It could also mean if there was somebody new that was coming along, that maybe this wasn't the right week for that to happen. There might be a little delay there, that kind of thing.
It does seem like there's either delays or disappointments of some sort in the emotional area and interpersonal relationships, I would say.
Something like that,
Yeah,
perhaps, yeah.
definitely. It doesn't have to be a, romantic one. It's leaning that way, but it could be friendships. It could be, along those lines rather than in work or anything like that. Week number 3, it looks as though you have the Eight of Swords upright. And the Eight of Swords upright is, well, in this case, because it's the after tarot, do you like that image? See what they're doing there?
Are they cutting them
Yeah, it
loose?
looks like
Yes.
they're trying to cut the person's ties. So I think in the third week, you might feel like you yourself may need a little support, or help in determining what direction or decision that you need to make. Something along the here the cat's back and messing with my microphone.
Lay down, Sonny.
Sonny, don't lay on my cards. There. Okay, you're free. Okay, so basically, I think that this is about.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there, Violet Ann. But you're last on the list. I'll go over the list again in a minute for you. Okay, and so basically, Sunny is now covering up the reading completely. So basically, you yourself might need a little. You're really not sure what to do. You're not sure. You feel trapped by indecision. That's at least the sense I'm getting from this card. And
Well-
that you may need to seek assistance or guidance as to what direction you should take.
To me, it also seems a metaphor too for people who feel like they feel that they can help you, and that they're sort of their help might be useful, but it might be the kind of help that maybe you didn't really need their help, and that so there's somebody who's overplaying their part a little bit too with you, perhaps.
And he just swatted at the final card here, but that's the best card of the bunch. You have the Ace of Wands here in the last week, and so it looks as though anything, something new is going to begin for you by the 4th week of January. Something very promising, something that you're going to feel very passionate about, and just immerse yourself in it. Whether this is a new relationship, it almost seems like it's more, I don't know, maybe plans or projects than relationship oriented.
I
But
feel
what
like
do you think?
there's like in this last week there's like this little bit of magicness in the air with
Fire.
this. Yeah, the energy is really picking up, and I feel like maybe something exciting is really going to start in that last week. Maybe it's something work related, but not necessarily. It just seems like it's an exciting time in the next few weeks that will come to you, and it may involve energy or an idea that you have not really thought about before. It's just really unique for you, is what I'm thinking.
Well, I think that, it does, a little bit of down, but mostly up, I think, in the next month for you, Balkus. Let me. What are you doing?
I'm doing the cam.
It's the cat cam.
Hello there.
Well, at least it got him off the cards. Okay, so what I do have is that it's an interesting combination. We have the child here, and we have the fox. And, I think what it's basically telling me is small, if you're being really crafty this month, and if you're being very maybe think outside the box, do some things that are extraordinary, unusual, you can make small strides forward. It doesn't show anything major happening, but something new happening for you. Like that Ace of Wands, it is something that's going to be really cool, but I think it's still it's not really huge. In other words, it's just a small step forward, but I think it's going to be something that you're going to be really excited about.
Now, because I don't do
Yes.
Lenormand and I just sort of go with what I feel the cards are telling me, to me, this looks like a lot of this month will be sort of a juxtaposition against maybe a certain sense of childlike wonder or naivety, and then a more clever kind of personality. And so like maybe this month sees you kind of relating to these things as going back and forth, feeling more naive about it, and then maybe not feeling so naive about it. And it may change from moment to moment or from day to day. But that's what I sort of see too, is just this kind of sense of wonder and then typical, going back and forth.
Okay.
Kind of different for me.
That is kind of different for you, Mr. O.
Right.
But I trust your judgment.
He is a big cat. He is a big
He's
cat.
a huge cat. All our cats are huge. They're actually all on a diet right now, believe it or not. It's not that successful. The cat that really needs to lose the most weight is not losing that much. But anyway.
Who's next?
Who is next is Jacob. Hey, Jacob, you're up. And I will go over the list while we're waiting for Jacob's question. So it's Jacob, Warda, Jay, Merwin, Sandy, Bilbani, Libra Cusp, and then Violet Ann. You're very welcome, Balkus, as always.
Thank you.
Sounds like a decent month. All right, what do you got? Ask for a general reading on me and the person I'm thinking about for the future.
Okay. I think you told us that before about your anonymous name, so that's fine. Thanks for the reminder.
Okay, all right. Well, let's see.
Is that your deck or mine?
Go ahead with yours.
Okay.
I'm going to pull out my Grand Lux for the next reading. How do we want to do this? So,
Hi, Smiling Soul.
hey, Smiling Soul and Claudia, hello.
Hi, Claudia. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you both. I'm adding you down on the list. This might be... I'm not going to say that's the end of the list after you, Claudia, but we wonder, let's see, what time is it? How are we doing? Oh, we've got plenty of time.
I think so.
Okay.
So I'm looking at the question again, too.
All right, so what do you think? Do we want to do a general and a quick yes-no?
Something like that.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's
So
do a
here you go.
three-card general. So that's on... Uh-oh, what happened here? That's on me. That's on them and the person?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So one of the things we're going to do is we're going to try to do our Tarot Together
Oh,
sessions
yeah. Yeah.
live at the Crazy Wisdom Bookstore.
In Ann Arbor, Michigan.
And that's going to be the second Tuesday in February if you're in the area. All right. We'll give you more on that soon.
Well, so this person that you're thinking about, are they a little bit indecisive about things? Are they maybe not in the picture right now? Or what are you sensing about that?
Maybe, because I'm sort of feeling like there's something else drawing their attention. They're thinking about something that they should have accomplished that they were not able to accomplish, perhaps.
So did we show the cards? Did we?
No, we didn't.
Okay. So
we have the King of Swords reversed.
And the Nine of Wands reversed.
And then the Queen of Coins upright. Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Discs, that kind of thing.
So I'm kind of sensing the Queen of Pence may be you. And the King of Swords reversed is
Could be the other person.
And I'm thinking that maybe they are a bit indecisive right now, or they're dealing with some other matters. They're definitely distracted in some way.
Well, I think that they're bothered by something that they felt they should have accomplished that they were not able to. Something that they lost or something that they thought was really going to be an easy win. And that's what I'm seeing with this card, the Nine of Wands reversed.
Well,
it's just a sense of that to me, too.
That could
Sit down, Kat.
Well, I do think that it's interesting that card is between the two people cards.
So maybe it's on both parts.
Well, that's what I'm wondering here is like, are you really ready for something to happen or develop in this situation? Are things...
Are either or both of you having a problem with something that should have happened that didn't happen? A perceived or a sense of a loss on some project or situation that were you almost engaged, since you're talking about marriage, and then it didn't happen?
Or something keeping you apart, because I'm seeing that right now still, that there is something still keeping you apart. So I think with that in mind...
They really wanted to know both sides.
Okay. Well, I am getting the feeling that...
Well, I said this was more about them, but then you made me feel like maybe it's something that's between both.
Yeah, I'm really thinking it is about both sides. Okay. So with that in mind, because I'm not seeing, this isn't very positive right now. It's not at a perfect place yet at all. There's work that needs to be done. And I almost think it's more to do with this person than yourself. So let me say, let's do a quick yes/no on this and see if you are going to get married. Let's just see what the cards say at this time. And remember, I can't stress it enough, Jacob, that, just if we say yes or no is not the final outcome, you know that, but with the information we give you, maybe how you want to proceed forward to either get the result you want or to move on. So that's the trick with the tarot here, and let's see what the tarot has to tell you about that.
I think with that reverse King of Swords too, there's the slight idea too that maybe they are not happy with the decisions they made, but yet at the same time they sort of feel like they were more or less compelled to make them. So if that's about that commitment, that if they were the one that had to change their minds about that, they strongly feel that there was a reason for that. It may not be something that we can understand necessarily. I'm not seeing that exactly there, so we're gonna probably throw more Lenormand on that too. Hey, you, what's up?
Well, all good things take time, How long did we know each other before we tied the knot, Mr.
About 5 years.
5 years.
Mm-hmm. Some of that was living together. Some of that was minorly broken up from each other.
So, we, there's not always, an easy road. But if it's worth the effort, it's worth the effort.
He's very attentive tonight.
I know. So I was doing some things while he's counting that out. I'll just say I was doing some things earlier. I was trying to film some things that I want to post on Twitter and Facebook. And I was laying out some cards, and at least 2 cats were on the table all the time. I was doing that. And of course, Sonny had to get in front and center. I think he's in a number of my pictures that I took today.
He's just looking at me. Okay, I think we asked the question.
We did, if they were going to get married. And the answer is leaning towards no right now. And I will say there's some interesting things here. There's definitely some powerful cards here for you to keep in mind, Jacob. The first one is the Chariot, upright. And then we got the Ace of Swords, but that's just a marker to say yes or no. And then the other card of note is
the reversed Devil.
Yeah. So this is a tough call for me because on one hand with the Chariot, I almost sense that somebody might be moving on or thinking about moving on, or at least making a move, possibly in the right direction, but I'm not sure because it's leaning towards no. The other card, the Devil, is reversed, and it's indicating to me freedom again and release. Like maybe if there is some other reason this person doesn't want to commit, they have to get free from something that is stopping them from making that decision. Whether it's an addiction, whether it's something in their life that's oppressing them in some way. That's sort of what I'm looking at here.
I'm feeling that too, but to me, the Chariot means something maybe a little bit different, and that may represent a certain level of their drive or energy that compels them to move in the direction they're moving, whether that direction includes moving towards a commitment or not. And I sort of seen a little relationship between the card that was about them possibly or their feelings, the reverse King of Swords, and then the Nine of Wands reverse. So I sort of feel like they're committed to possibly restaging the situation that they bailed on or that they changed their mind on. So it may mean that. It may mean that that's what's happening, is they're working up towards that again. Yet at the same time, I also feel too that they're really conflicted deep inside with that reverse Devil, that it could also be the sense of the freedom that they're wondering, they haven't clearly visualized how their life will change for the better, I guess is a good way to say it, is that they just don't necessarily see where a benefit is lying for them or a compelling piece of the future. What do you got?
Well, I have, the first card I drew is the Path and decisions, Some decisions are going to have to be made one way or another. And the other card is the Moon. And so I'm wondering here, the Moon is kind of a card of success in a way, but I'm wondering here if to achieve the success, maybe it's just time to, tell the person it's decision time. Maybe it's time to kind of find out where they stand, because I don't think anything can move one way or another until that occurs.
A lot of the cards really look like there's a big stalemate here in a way, and that there's a holding pattern, and it may be more likely, I feel, that they're sort of dodging the issue than you are, but you might be a little bit too, or maybe it's just because you're trying to give them space, and maybe they're not sure how honest they can be with you about this right now, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not feeling super positive at the moment, except for the fact that clearly success rests with a decision. Something has to move. Somebody has to make up their mind, and to move this one way or another, because the Chariot is about movement. That's for sure. Something I think is going to happen, but which way that's going to go right now, it's looking negative. But I think that, you could try to make it a positive, maybe by stressing how, maybe by just coming clean with how you feel. And that's what I have.
Yeah, I get the feeling like it's up to you to decide to move on or just to keep in that pattern, maybe.
Yeah, I'm sensing that. So if you feel it's worth waiting a little longer, then do so, and maybe the energies will, could change. Okay, so we are on Warda, and then Jay, Merwin, Sandy, Bilbani, Libra Cusp, Violet Ann, Smiling Soul, and Claudia. And so, Warda, what do you have for us? Is my lawyer playing me with my ex-husband? Okay. Let's do the first one as a yes, no, and let's see what
You're
will
welcome,
happen.
Jacob. Yes. Back to your cards.
You're welcome, Jacob. All right. And we'll use yours for the next reading.
I think we mentioned this before because we knew personally, we don't know them anymore, not for years, a couple who were Cancer and Leo, only she was the Leo and he was the Cancer. And it was kind of mixed matched in a way. You know what I'm talking about.
I do.
But they never married, so they didn't have any legal problems related to that. So that was probably
Well,
good.
I think no. The Cancer Leo, that is not your ex-husband. That is a new relationship, I take it?
Yeah, that's right. I believe so.
Okay.
So let's see if we can do the one first.
So let's just do the yes, no about the lawyer first. Let's see what the lawyer's up
Okay,
to.
cut.
Oh, and I just shuffled again. But I will cut. I just gave it an extra shuffle for good measure.
Well, when you're good, you're us.
Have to come up with something quickly. Oh. I think this is going to be my best favorite Ciro Marchetti deck.
It's very, very beautiful.
It is. I'm just staring at all the cards as they fall here because they're just so gorgeous.
Okay.
I would say no.
No, but it looks. There may be some reasons why it may look that way, but it does clearly look like it's leaning more towards no. What it may be is that now this is your lawyer,
Right.
and they don't know how to handle, or you're wondering if they're doing right when it comes to how they're dealing with your ex. So we had that, the King of Swords reversed, which does sort of sound like maybe there is some sort of difficulty in decision making. We also have the Emperor reversed, and I'm wondering, I'm getting a little bit of a psychic flash.
Oh,
if,
he was reversed. Shoot. Okay.
Yeah, it was reversed.
Okay.
I get the feeling like your ex is really trying to play your lawyer, is what I think.
Oh, he thinks it's the opposite, and that could be. I do feel as though the lawyer may be bumbling the case a little bit
Maybe.
with the King of Swords reversed. I don't know that your ex has much to do with that, but clearly I do think there is somebody who's definitely on a power trip here.
Yeah, no,
And I can see why you'd say that that's maybe the ex, because they are trying to manipulate and control things. I think maybe Mr. O has it right here that that's what's going on more than the other way around.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily think they will win. I don't see a strong feeling that says that, but it may have thrown a little monkey wrench there. I
Yeah,
think your lawyer's capable of dealing with him. It just may be that the guy may have tried to throw some really weird
maybe
angle
their
at him,
lawyer, right?
you know,
Your ex's lawyer.
just a weird angle, you know.
So go ahead and let's throw 3 real quick for the relationship and see what we get.
Okay. Yeah, this is a beautiful deck. I once heard of a woman who kept having her divorce case put off, put off, and put off. And then after a while, she found out that her ex had totally ingratiated himself with the judge on her case. He was even playing golf with the judge. And all of a sudden, the judge had to recuse himself and said, I can't. And so then started another set of delays. I
Oh
was
my
like, wow,
goodness.
yeah, and that was somebody at one of the hospitals I worked at that told me that.
Wow. Crazy things can happen.
Well, if you're rich enough to play golf, then you're rich enough to try to manipulate people, I imagine. That's how I look at it.
Okay.
Was this a yes or no?
No, this is 3 cards.
3 cards, that's right.
We're just looking at what the relationship, what's going on.
No, Sonny doesn't get into catnip very often. I'll have you know, Masonic.
We do treat them on occasion,
Could
but
be
it's
that.
been a little
Smiling,
while.
so it could be that.
All right, well, the relationship has some issues, but
There's an 8 of Wands upright.
lot of energy, lot of
Speed, moving towards something.
and maybe
Energy.
doing things together and whatnot. It seems like that's a go. The Hermit reversed. Well,
Maybe this person's been coming out of a shell.
oh,
Is that possible?
could be.
So that's why they're over exuberant because they're
Or
sort of
this
like,
could be you as well. This could be you, coming out of a difficult relationship with the trial and stuff.
that's true too. Yeah.
This could be one of you two is kind of trying to feel their way back to normalcy again, I think.
And then of course we have the devil.
And of course, we have the devil.
And that only tells me that this relationship has some very tempting things about it for you. There may be a sense that you're finding that person irresistible. I understand that with a Leo personality, perhaps. Okay. But the other thing, too, is that you may be questioning maybe a little bit whether they're tempting you into areas you'd rather not go into, or whether you feel like you're losing a sense of your own free will by always doing what they want. They're leading the direction in a way. That 8 of Wands are like moving ahead.
Right. With the devil, I'd be concerned about, beware of the relationship becoming obsessive in some way. Like, number one, you become too obsessed with them, or they become too obsessed with you. Everybody needs some room to breathe in a relationship, some room to be, with themselves and, do things for themselves as well as for their partner. So make sure, that there's not a uneven balance in this relationship. That would be what I would look out for.
Warda, thank you for your kind words. I really appreciate hearing that, whether it was for me or her or for both of us. So we're going to go ahead and
I
pull a
am missing
Lenormand.
something again.
Thank you for relieving some doubt. Always on point.
Oh, okay, I see it. It's further up. Okay. Thank you,
Thank
Warda.
you.
I'm going to throw a couple of quick Lenormand on this relationship and see what I get. Well, I got one of the newer, one of the added cards that Cyril Marchetti put in the expanded Lenormand, and that is the Mask. And then I've got the House. And I'm thinking here that this might mean that, don't, be careful, the security that you feel in this relationship right now, if you feel any, might be a little bit illusory. It may not be, it may be an illusion. It may be a facade. Just be sure you get to know this person very well and that everything clicks, because I sense that there may be some things hidden about this person that you don't know.
Well, maybe it's that, but I know one thing about Leos is that they wear a lot of masks because that in their heart they're sort of like an actor, or they're certainly some sort of show person. So a lot of Leos have a larger than life personality, and sometimes parts of that personality may play differently with different people. So you may be seeing differing things from them because you're running into different people with them, and you're wondering which is the real one. I'm not sure either.
And the home I looked at in this case, because the way it came up with, I took it as a security angle, because in a home you feel secure and stable and comfortable, and but there's this facade about that. There's this mask, and so that's kind of why I read it that way, just to give you where I was coming from. And that's what we have for you, Warda. I hope that helps, and wish you luck again with the ongoing saga with the attorneys and the legal matters. Hey, Jay, it's your turn. And after Jay is Merwin, Sandy, Bilbani, Libra, Cusp, Violet Ann, Smiling Soul, and Claudia.
You're welcome, Warda. And that's kind of a good observation from the one and only relationship that was close that I ever had with a Leo person. So I can't really judge that of all Leos, but I don't know. I thought I was hanging around with a Leo's Leo.
Do you want to use your deck for Jay's question there?
Alrighty. Jay, any message from Spirit Guides?
I can add you, Fem82. I think we'll be able to get to everybody so far. But you are at the bottom. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 readings from this one. But hang in there because we still have an hour left.
I switched to my Egyptian deck.
The shiny sparkly deck.
The shiny sparkly deck.
So I saw Smiling Soul talking earlier about having bank. We did talk to you before about bank issues. I'm sorry, I'm just getting to that now, Smiling Soul. But I see you were saying you were dealing with them. And I remember in December there, we were talking about some ongoing issues, or at the end of November for January. I forget, but I know it came up.
Yeah, I remember that vaguely. Go ahead and cut.
All right.
This is 3 cards.
So, yep. Which one is that? That's a knight. Oh, king.
The king.
Oh, okay.
The knight. Oh my. The 10 of Cups. Okay.
It's reversed.
Right.
This is very interesting. Which one is this? The Knight of Pentacles. They're both Pentacles. Mm-hmm. Which is interesting, Jay, because you're asking about doctors and,
I get a strong doctor vibe from these cards.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think you have a good doctor. The King of Pentacles indicates probably a good, solid practitioner. I think it is of concern to you, obviously. I don't think there's anything that's telling me something's going to go wrong. You're wondering about them not understanding your issue, though. And I get the feeling like that may be transitory, that may not be overall, that maybe they're just sort of coming into this at face value. At the 10 of Cups, it does seem, though, that maybe there is a sense of you're not really satisfied with where they're going with that.
It's clearly you're not satisfied. The 10 of Cups is reversed here, and you're wondering if you shouldn't get a second opinion. I'm not going to rule that out, but, these two cards that seem to indicate to me, like these certainly look like doctor-type individuals. Maybe the possibility does exist that you should get a second opinion. Since I am seeing 2 Pentacle cards here, that seems like a good idea. If you can't get your point across and you're not happy with what the outcome is, it's interesting because both cards look positive. So it wouldn't hurt to run his diagnosis by somebody else and get a second opinion. because the Ten of Swords is definitely dissatisfaction
It's cups.
cups. Dissatisfaction and disappointment. Well, I have the Fox. And I have the Birds. And the Birds is like chatter and news and talking. And the Fox is kind of like somebody who's using their brains, somebody who's thinking outside the box, somebody who is maybe looking for alternative solutions. And so this again tells me that maybe it would not hurt to try to get some second opinion or some advice on this. And, that's what the Birds are about, talking to somebody else. It might be wise, with the Fox here, it might be a good move if you're not comfortable with what you're hearing to talk to somebody else before you undergo some type of procedure.
Right, I think that's exactly right. I can't really add anything to that. I do sort of feel that the Knight of Pentacles represents maybe in a sense your attitude about how you're starting to change your attitude about your feeling about your doctors. So with that in mind, these cards kind of color that, and to me it is saying yes, you need to find out more and or talk to more people.
The other thing that I might suggest here, Jay, is that with the Birds card, it's also about talk and chatter. I don't want to say gossip, but it can be gossip. But maybe if you could do some research and find out a little bit more about this doctor and his credentials or previous cases. If there's any way you can find out what people think of him. Was he recommended or referred to you by somebody else that that you could talk to about this? So, that's another possibility too, is just to look up his reputation.
Right, and you could probably just Google that, quite frankly, and it should be pretty easy to do that. So maybe you should, and let us know what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be curious to see what the outcome of this is, Jay. Hey, Merwin, are you with us still? Because if you are up, and welcome back.
Welcome back, Merwin.
We'll give Merwin a few seconds and see if she's there.
No, we didn't get to you yet, Sandy.
Nope, Sandy. You are after Merwin, though, so let's
hang on,
see what happens.
Because if Merwin doesn't show up, then you're next.
Yeah, so hang in there. But anyway, if Merwin, you have a question, we're here and you can type it up now.
I'm just going to type in Merwin's name.
And we'll give Merwin just a couple seconds. Is there any...
No, we'll just go through stuff. Oh, there they are. We don't have to. My guy awesome. Is going on tour very soon. Will he ask me to join him? Happy New Year to you.
And you as well.
Thank you.
I'm hoping for a better year. That's all I can say.
That's a pretty straightforward yes or no, maybe?
Yes, it is. So why don't we go? Last year was kind of a rough one for me in a lot of ways. It started off with my brother's funeral in January, and kind of had a rocky year in a few areas, and I'm hoping that the way this last year ended has been so positive that I can only think this is going to be a great year. So I'm hoping the best for everybody else as well.
Merwin, I think your guy is mostly pretty easy going along, and you're able to influence him, but I also have a feeling like maybe there's a slight doubt in their mind that they want you to go, and maybe it's just more about your own personal health or safety or situation. I dropped a couple cards.
You did? Oh, is that what that was about?
Yes, I dropped force or strength, and then I dropped the reversed Ace of Swords.
Well, Mr. O drops a lot of cards, and I don't know if we should count them or not, but in my family they always said, what falls to the floor comes to the door. So when we drop cards, we do try to take note of them.
But that wasn't your reading. It was just something that happened that I was able to reflect on?
Yes.
Here we go.
Do you want me to do it?
No.
Oh, you're so slow.
That's all you have
he
to
says,
say.
what?
So slow.
Timey. Whoa.
Oh, wow.
Yowzers.
Okay. Are you currently not married to this guy? Because if you're not, I think they're going to propose to you, or you're going to propose to them on the trip.
I won't go that far. But let me just say,
2 of Cups.
you got the 2 of Cups in there, Merwin. So that's an awfully good sign. And you've got 2 aces.
Those are your markers for yes.
Yes, which is, it's leaning towards yes
Definitely
in a big
leaning
way.
towards yes.
With such a positive card as the 2 of Cups. So if that's your desire, and if there's any nudging you need to do to make it happen, I say go for it, because the signs to me are all systems go. It shows a lot of harmony and compatibility.
Yeah.
And I am going to toss some Lenormand on that and see what they say. Well,
What'd you do?
well, we have the mountains.
Uh-oh.
And we have the clouds. So what I will say to you is this, that, you know, it might not be all fun. It sounds like it might take a lot out of you, you know, to do this. And, you know, there will be some obstacles. So to me, but it seems like it's more about, you know, your own attitude or mindset, because the clouds are about fogginess and depression and gloominess, but I'm looking at it with the mountains there as obstacles. In other words, traveling around a lot might take a toll. You know, it definitely might kind of wear you down.
That's kind of what I saw too with the reversed Ace of Swords that fell out, and I just sort of had the feeling there that that was more like the guy thinking, you know, are you sure you're strong enough for that? It wasn't like he was saying you weren't, but he was just had that question in his mind maybe.
Well, and then the other thing is there may not all be happy moments, because, you know, there may be stress. People might get in a few little arguments and spats. It's not going to be the perfect idyllic tour, but it sounds like I would say it's a go.
Yeah, it sounds like that. All right.
I hope that helped. And thanks for waiting.
Sandy.
Hey, Sandy, you are up.
You are next, Sandy.
And then after Sandy is Bill Bonnie, Libra Cusp, Violet Ann, Smiling Soul, Claudia, and Femme 82. So what do you got for us, Sandy? What are my deities trying to get me to achieve this year? Okay.
Are we going to use your deck?
Well,
Yes.
you're shuffling that.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what deck that was there. That's your
Since we're dealing with deities, is that the shiny sparkly deck?
Yes, it is.
We'll use that one.
Oh, where'd you get the game that you posted on Twitter?
Oh, the game I posted on Twitter, the fortune teller game, that I got it years ago at a Toys R Us. I wonder if it's still available on Amazon. I'm not even sure it's being published. But you know, anymore. But these things keep coming back. Because like I said, my aunt had a version of it from like the 1920s or 30s. And it had an Egyptian motif back then. Now it's got a fortune teller motif. And I don't know if it's still out there. It may be, but it might be, I just don't even know if it's being published anymore. I got it in the late 1980s.
We probably don't, Sandy, but thanks for mentioning that. We are, of course, working with an Egyptian deck. We're
Yeah,
just drawing
that's
3.
true.
Okay. So you got the Four of Pentacles reversed, the Three of Wands reversed, and then the Three of Pentacles upright. So what I think this means is there's some sacrifices that they're looking at. One of them is maybe charitable contributions, letting go of some money. Oh my God, that's terrible. I can't contribute to anybody. I keep looking at all these things happening like I can't give them any money. I can't. But that's what I'm seeing there with that one. Is that what you think you're seeing?
I'll go on in a minute.
And then the Three of Wands reversed. To me, that's sort of saying taking another look at some of your relationship situations and maybe looking at the relationships that you've outworn, not necessarily like your best person, but other relationships maybe that cause you too much of a hassle and that maybe you might want to get rid of some of those or consider repairing them somehow, some way, repairing past difficulties with loved ones. I guess that's what I'm seeing there with that.
Okay.
But then the Three of Pentacles upright for you, to me, this tells me to continue to produce your artwork and or your inspiring stuff, that's what your deities want to see. They want to see you producing and getting that out there. Yeah, cutting some more ties. That's what I thought that three reversed was. Banshee?
So basically, Sandy, the way I look at it is with the Four of Pentacles reversed, I think your deities are saying you have to let go of some things. It could be material things or objects or materiality in general. You have to take your focus off of that and also on maybe some of the plans and things that you have been working on that may be important to you in some way, but really in the grand scheme of things, they don't feel you should be working on. And if they haven't been working for you, they're telling you it's time to let that go. I'm seeing that strongly here. And they do recognize what a tirelessly good worker you are, and not just tireless, but so it's almost a perfectionist in a way that, you really put out something that's very perfect and, is worthy of acclaim and notice. And so they recognize that and want you to continue to pursue excellence and let go of the things that really might be keeping you from that in some ways, and let going, and I see what he's saying too about the generosity, but I'm kind of thinking in this case.
I think you're more right. I think I was
Yeah.
misreading that. Your answer kind of clarifies it even in my mind.
Well, okay. I mean, we could both be right. It's very possible.
No, I just think I was misreading it. I need to hear you talk about it.
And I just kind of feel that's the way these cards kind of tied together here as a message from, your deities. They recognize and value, the great things that you create. However, they do feel that you sometimes get yourself bogged down in things that are, not wasting your time and energy.
Well, let's throw the Lenormand too
Yes,
then for
indeed.
Sandy. All right.
Well, he likes that Egyptian deck. I think it's pretty cool too. Some Egyptian decks are less expressive than others. This one has, I think, a real personality
This
to
is
it.
a good hybrid between the vague ones that are just sometimes very simplistic and not very inspired, and then something that's more realized, but I think the gold sets it off. What do you got?
I've got the mountains and I've got the bear. And
Ooh.
this is very interesting to me, Sandy, because this kind of ties in with their message as well. They want you to look at the obstacles that you have in your life and power past them. You are big. You are bigger than these obstacles and stronger, and you have a lot of personal power. And so you should just not let these things hold you back. And as a matter of fact, if they are holding you back, then just decide when enough's enough. Make that decision. for yourself to cut ties or do what you have to do.
Right. I'm seeing this strongly here too, that this is a symbol of female empowerment, and it's just basically saying you have what's within you to overcome any of these obstacles that are there or these attitudes, and that it's really a matter of you choosing a path too. They're giving you these clues, which I think the most important one is really that one, to continue to inspire others with your artwork or with whatever it is you inspire people with. So that's what we have.
That's what we have for you today, Sandy. Good luck to you. And hey, Bill Bonnie.
Bill Bonnie's next?
Bill Bonnie's next.
All right.
So Bill Bonnie is up, and then Libra Cusp, Violet Ann, Smiling Soul, Claudia, and Femme 82.
Excellent. Let's see what we can do. I thought Bill Bonnie had resurfaced momentarily somewhere there.
At 8:06, there was a post. So just type up your question, Bill Bonnie, and we will get to you.
We can also do a general reading if you want.
That's right.
So while we're waiting for that, I'm going to remind everybody that, of course, we post a reading for the day on our Facebook page, the TFT Tarot for Today
and
Facebook
Twitter.
Page, and also on Twitter, and that's daily. They're usually posted in the later evening, and they're for the next day, so you can view those. And we recently heard from CJ Cullenhane, who does the fabulous Crow Tarot, and they have given us permission to talk about it and possibly to feature it, only with the idea that maybe we let them know where that YouTube video will be at. So we'll be working on that. We're probably going to do a real special in the future where we focus on unusual decks, and this will probably be a 4 or maybe 5-part series. I see Bill Bonnie is with us.
Yes. General reading.
Go ahead, general reading.
So basically, we'll use one of mine. Let me get the syrup.
Oh, thank you, Smiling Soul.
I like that game a lot, and Smiling Soul, and maybe someday I'll do a video on that and show the really old, broken up version from the 1920s along with that one. It is a very nuanced little game. It's kind of cute.
All right, a general love and work reading.
Okay. With an emphasis, general with an emphasis on love and work.
All right. Thank you, Merwin.
Well, good luck. I hope so. I did not go out on that limb, but Mr. O, Mr. O did.
You know, that's the wonderful thing about doing this, is that as intuitive as I may have felt I have been in the past, since we've started working on this, it just seems to be even more intuitive. Like, I can't tell you how many times, at least once a day, I'm thinking of calling this one, and then that one calls me, or something very close to that. This is all the time. And a lot of times it's about the same reasons that we're calling each other.
Well, you know, we've always had a very strong synchronistic connection, but doing readings together like we're doing that, I think, has even brought that out more in recent times.
I'm sinking my brain to yours.
Oh, no.
Run!
I'm going to run. I know where that brain has been.
Whoa, don't tell anyone. Oh, wait, we just did.
All right. Oh, did you shuffle? You
I
did
don't
not.
believe that I did.
Sorry. I guess I should have known that.
Well, if you were really ultimately psychic.
So yeah, stay tuned. I would say probably by next weekend, I will have a Soul Stories video out for everybody. The one I've been promising about the lottery win. A couple of them that I will be discussing that happened similarly. So I just want to get everybody's opinion about what they think about.
These cards keep flipping over for me.
Well, what does that mean?
I don't know, because I'm not looking at any of them.
Cut them, you.
Nicely.
I'm trying to work around Sunny, who's fast asleep here.
Oh.
Wowzers.
There's our friends again.
Well, we have the Ace of Swords popped up, upright. We have the Death card, upright. And this was reversed, right? The Seven of Wands, reversed. Well, okay, so this is about work and relationships. So, seems like there's change afoot. There's definitely change in one of these areas of your life right now. I'm not seeing a lot of things that are pointing at a relationship specifically here right now, but I do see that there is change afoot. There is advancement. There is something positive happening. Yet, on the other hand, you feel somehow at a disadvantage. I'm going to push this over here so you can look them over.
Well, I'm thinking
And
that this
actually,
is the
it came
card
up
that
this
maybe
way.
talks about the relationship aspects in the reading.
Okay.
And what that says to
Okay.
me maybe is this idea that I'm getting a glimmer that somebody from the past relationship or a past relationship may be trying to make some overtures. I don't know that you're hearing them yet, but I get the feeling like they might be. And you're probably not going to want to revisit that. So just think about it. I think Banshee's right. There's a strong forces of change here, and you should move forward with the change. And I think it's possible
It's
that
a
maybe
positive change.
it's a positive change. And I think that the next person you may be meeting, whether they're work related or possibly romance related, they're going to be more of a grounded and secure personality. I'm thinking it's probably more likely somebody at work who's just able to really pull you along, a strong mentor maybe in your field that will be able to be helpful to you.
It's looking, for the most part, it's very positive. I guess I'm only a little concerned about the Seven of Wands reversed because
that
it
one.
shows kind of you're not holding your own in some area, whether this is relationships or work related. But it seems to me something is going to change all of that. Something's going to change all of that. So if you have been down and if you feel like things have not been going your way, maybe that's what this is about, then I feel that it's about to shift and it's going to be a big change for the better. You're going to feel like you achieved some triumph or victory.
It could be that it's not really even a mentor. It's just really yourself suddenly kind of pulling into a moment of courage and then enacting on that. It could just be that really you're going to be presented with a situation where you're going to say, I can do this, and you're going to just rise to the occasion.
Let me see if the Lenormand can shed a little bit more light here. Oh, thank you, Merwin.
That was
precious.
Very nice. Well, in the library world, when we say somebody's a little precious, that means difficult. So don't say
we
little
know
precious.
you didn't mean that.
You didn't
we
say
know,
little precious.
We know
said
you
precious.
didn't mean that anyway. And I don't know if I've heard that much in my library world.
I heard it in the medical library world.
Oh.
From someone you know too, or knew. Long ago.
Well, something you discover. This is one of Ciro Marchetti's added cards to the traditional Lenormand deck. He made the spyglass kind of card, magnifying glass. And then you have the moon. And it's almost as if you're going to uncover something, whether it's through research or finding something out, talk with people. You're going to uncover something that's going to help you succeed. And I sense that this is more about work than romance, but the moon also has romantic tones as well.
Look, it's that blue that's on my shirt. No, I'm totally going to say I think it's only about the romance.
Oh,
and I think that that's what you're discovering, and that I think you're just going to discover romance somewhere in the new year. I do feel that way. I don't think this is necessarily connected to those cards, only with the idea that maybe you're still going to be pestered with somebody from a previous relationship. I don't think that's a big deal, but I just think that's going to happen. And you'll probably say,
so
yeah,
you
that
think
happened.
this is something new, not the previous relationship?
No, I think it's new.
Okay.
Now, maybe it is about work too, but remember, I don't read Lenormand, so I'm just going with the symbols tell me.
I know. And you do it so well.
Well, we'll find out.
We'll find out. Well, I hope that helped you, Bill Bonnie. And thanks for waiting on us. And we're here every week, so feel free to stop back in for more.
Yeah, it's always good to know when somebody comes back and says, "Oh, this happened," or "It happened this way," or something like that. The feedback is wonderful.
Hey, Libra Cusp, you are up.
And the question is already there.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks, Libra Cusp.
Boy, you've stuck with us, Libra Cusp. All right. Will Nicole and I reconcile our friendship in 2020? Okay.
All right, straightforward, yes or no. Shall I go ahead and do that?
Oh, you want me to do it?
Go ahead.
So this is just a friendship, right? So no romantic overtones. Let's see what we've got. Shuffle. Are you playing with emojis?
Who, me?
I see them up on your screen there. Oh, I see you added one.
Do you want me to cut?
Yeah. All right, let's see.
This cat is so sleepy. We are on Bill Bonnie, Claudia, so I'm not sure where that leaves you.
No, we're on Libra Cusp.
Oh, we're on Libra Cusp. I'm sorry. So, Claudia's how many more down?
Claudia's near the bottom. She's got two more in front of her after Libra Cusp.
So 2 more after the current one we're on now.
Now, remember, whatever we tell you, you have the power to change this. So it's leaning towards a no right now. It's definitely leaning towards no because I have no aces in this reading, and we look for aces. And we have the Four of Cups reversed. We have that darn devil upright. And we have the Queen of Cups reversed. One thing I want to say right from the get-go is that it seems as though Libra Cusp, somebody is holding on to a lot of resentment or bad feelings. That Queen of Cups reverse seems to indicate that to me. And the Four of Cups reversed seems to indicate somebody is either moving away or moving on, or maybe they are about to do something in regards to this situation. I don't know if it's necessarily what you want or not.
Okay, well, I'll just try to say this as objectively as possible, but I get the feeling like it's definitely not looking good.
It's not.
And that maybe there's really something strongly emotional at the core of this. And there's also problems with people on either side of it really being able to accept somebody else's wisdom or viewpoint even. It's sort of like really being locked into weird corners.
And I feel like the devil upright is not helping matters. There's either somebody who is maybe too attached to their perspective or point of view. They're too obsessed with their stance or their stand, and they don't want to let it go.
Yeah, I mean, clearly this answer to us looks like not likely. No. Leaning
Yeah.
towards no,
Let
Libra
me
cusp.
throw some Lenormand on that and see if there's anything else that shows. Is the other person a water sign? A water sign by chance?
Right, which could be the emotionality that I was picking up.
So it looks like there's a lot of water energy here for sure, but that could also just be the emotions involved in, the conflict.
Sometimes we really think we do know people and then we don't actually know them. And I'm not trying to say that's what's going on here, but I do know that sometimes people have secret parts of themselves that even their best friends don't always get to see.
Okay. I have to call it like I see it here. We have mountains and we have the scythe. And so, on the one hand, I'm thinking that this might be telling me that there are some wounds here that are rather deep and hard to overcome because the mountains are like obstacles. And the scythe is, of course, a cutting implement. And when you think about the ramifications of that, that could be cutting ties, that could be cutting through something, but you really can't use one of these to cut very well through a mountain, can you? So I'm thinking that it means that, these ties have been cut because somebody cannot surmount their pain or their feelings. Uh, they can't come to terms with it. And that's what the holdup is, I think.
That's probably what it is. The mountains really seem to be impassable. They're the metaphor for impassibility. It may be that you yourself are trying to cut to the matter that, but there's just too much in the way. And maybe if that person is really resolute and stubborn, devil is stubborn. And I'm not saying the person's a devil, but it just represents really strong qualities like that, stubbornness, that it's just going to be the kind of situation that doesn't look like it's going forward at all.
Well, and the one caveat I will give you is that, it may not be this year, it may not be forever,
Right.
but it's likely it's not this year. It just seems like there's too much to overcome for this year. But, people can traverse over mountains. It may take work and effort. It may take a lot of work and effort to have this reconcile.
Tarot is a snapshot in time, and you asked the question a year, and that's how we dealt with it. And
Yes.
so at this outset of it, it looks that way, but it is possible that maybe as we move on several months or longer into the year, situations will change. So we're not saying that this would never happen at all this year, but right now it looks like it wouldn't. So that's what we got. Thank you.
Yep, sorry we couldn't give you better news on
Wow,
that.
yeah.
Very sorry.
That has actually happened to us. It wasn't that long. It was
yeah,
20
we've
years
had-
maybe, but
Yeah.
we had to depart a long time friendship once too, and it was just one of those things.
I know it's not easy because, I'm
That's
not going
true,
to say it
Smiling
haunts
Soul.
me to this day, but because it doesn't really. It's just the
Sometimes
way
it was-
things worked out.
Smiling Soul says sometimes people just come in your life because they were meant to teach you something, but they weren't meant to stay there.
That's true.
That's
That's very
very
good,
true.
Smiling Soul. You're very right about that.
Alrighty.
Hey, Violet Ann, are you still with us?
If you're with us, Violet, and
It is your turn. And I think you wrote a question down way back when, but I would have to go way back to find it. Well, I'm not seeing it. If you could rewrite your question, I'd appreciate it. I probably passed it by and I didn't even notice. There she is. Okay. How Jay feels about me romantically. Should I make a move? Okay. Well, let's try one of my 3-card spreads for that. Do you want to use your cards?
okay.
Okay, about it romantically. Oh, Sonny, do not move. You're just giving me enough space to shuffle.
You're welcome, Libra Cusp.
You're welcome, Libra Cusp.
So we are into our last half hour.
And we're doing great.
Cut 'em.
We're on our last 4 readings. Oh, I'm sorry.
You're the kata.
Okay.
First card.
So let's look at the partner's current situation right now. Let's look at Jay's current situation.
And that's the Knave of Wands.
So that's the Page of Wands?
Yes. And it's reversed.
Oh.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. This is a person maybe who struggles with occasional awkward feelings or doesn't feel that they have a lot of grace and that they sort of feel that maybe they don't shine enough to you perhaps, or they don't always feel confident.
Yeah, I'm sensing a little bit of, excuse me. Gosh, my throat has been bugging me tonight. A little bit of insecurity. Maybe
Youthful
just...
in spirit or in demeanor. Youthful in demeanor.
Okay. Well, yeah, obviously they seem young at heart and in spirit, but also maybe a little bit not able to express their feelings well.
Okay.
And throw the next card because I want to see. This one is their attitude towards you.
The King of Pentacles reversed.
Do they feel like maybe they... This is again pointing to some insecurities to me.
Yeah, it may be some
a bit.
self-esteem issue when it comes to how they compare themselves materially to you. Like maybe they feel you had the better job or you had the better ambition or the better career. And maybe they don't feel that they're as successful as you. So maybe they're rating themselves against
Or
you.
in some way that they don't meet your standards in some way. Let's see if a relationship, should she make a move? Oh, what's that? That's a Three of Wands. I would say...
He rocks your world.
I would say yes. I
Yeah.
would say make a move. It seems to me that since I got this card in the position of where things are headed, it just seems to me that you should make this move. Maybe this person's having a hard time expressing themselves and is waiting for more of a sign from you.
It could be, or that you're possibly feeling like your ship has come in, and so this is just a matter of you taking stock of everything you have right now and evaluating where your life is and feeling like, yes, maybe it is time for you to move forward with this idea.
Because it sounds like something can really... something can be built off of this partnership.
Right. Despite some possible self-esteem issues, it does seem like there's something valuable there. And, maybe Jay just needs somebody to help them kind of grow a little more learned.
Right. Because that's what relationships do. If you have a positive relationship and a positive partner, you learn and you grow off of each other. And so, you can both help each other out in that regard. Okay.
No.
I have the fish. And I have the dice. So...
I'm hearing that song by the Rolling Stones.
So, what I'm thinking about this is that you definitely could take that chance and that risk, because the fish is a card of, sometimes it's a card of plenty. It means material and financial flow, but what it also means to me is that, positive things could be flowing through this risk that you take. So I really feel that maybe you should take a chance. on this person and go for it.
Well, these kind of things that might seem like inequitable or at least some smallish part of an issue, they're everywhere. I mean, for most of the years of our relationship, Banshee has been much more of a money person than I have been in terms of where her salary and career have taken her. And she wanted that and she went towards that. And my ambition wasn't exactly the same. It's not like I've been leaning on her, but we had a corollary relationship. And so sometimes the typical person who's the bread earner is not the typical person who's the bread earner. It's the other person. So why not?
Well, and and that's the point is, he supported me going back and completing my degrees so that I could get a better job. And so it all worked out. We work together in a relationship. You decide what are the priorities, what aren't. And I think that this just looks really like go for it, give it a shot, because I think something good could come out of this.
Tumbling dice. And you know what? Sometimes there are a lot of fish in the sea, but sometimes only the one fish is the one for you. Okay, that was sort of weird, but...
No, that was so you.
Your mom and dad are probably right too, so I'm just going to say that's right.
Okay, so hope that helped you, Violet Ann, and thanks for waiting because I know you're way down there on the list. Like Smiling Soul, who is next? Hey, Smiling Soul. And then we have Claudia and Fem82 to close out the night.
Alrighty.
You're welcome. Check with us again and do let us know what happens.
Yes. And by the way, this is a good segue for me to mention that tomorrow is Friday.
Yeah.
So once again, I will do my week forecast for emotional exchanges, those kind of emotional ups and downs. Maybe it's about a relationship. Maybe it's just about good times and bad times, feelings on Fridays, premiering at 9 o'clock. It's like about a 15-minute overview where I look at those energies for the astrological signs as ordered by their elemental association. And then there's also a word of the week too that I will give to you, and that will be for each of those elemental associations too. So word of the week to help you with your emotional life for a week. So that's tomorrow at 9 o'clock.
Oh, there you go. You got 2 questions. Well, we'll see how we can do it, Smiling Soul.
Alrighty.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Well, that's a yes/no, so we'll do that real quick. Go for it.
So I'm using the special gold gilded Egyptian cards.
Oh, you got 2 yes or no questions today, I think. Okay.
And I believe these cards are just going to have a little bit of energy and vibration towards good health for you. So I'm sending that to you. There, I did it. Thanks for what you said earlier about my video. I thought it was a lot like the other one for new subscribers. So I appreciate that, but I got to do a little better. So I'm hoping to do another one soon, and it'll talk more about some of our other features that we're doing in the new year, Smiling Soul. So thank you for that, though. It's always encouraging to get that.
Okay, so this is about the heart procedure. Let's see.
Cut.
You want me to count them?
No, I want to count them.
Oh. I was going to say something to the audience, and I have forgotten what I was going to say. I'm having a senior moment, apparently. Wasn't about your emotional exchanges. Oh, Sunday. So if you join us on our live stream Sunday, make sure you have a nice cup of hot cocoa with you. We're going to start the show with a cup of hot cocoa, celebrating my last day of vacation. So it'll be back to work for me on Monday.
Okay, here's what we got.
Okay.
So we got an answer that is maybe not as positive as we would like. We did get the Three of Swords upright.
Yikes. That is so fascinating. Go on.
I'm sure it is
Well,
because I feel a medical thing about
Yes.
this one. Yes.
Yeah. Go on.
And then we got the Knight of Swords, so more swords. And this one is reversed.
Okay.
And then, hi, Suzanne.
Oh, Suzanne has joined us. Welcome, welcome.
A reversed Ace of Cups. So the answer leans towards no. Hopefully
here-
that's not horrible.
Well, the procedure is got some issues, and it's interesting that we pulled the three. Oh my goodness. Pulled one of our cats just jumped on the table and almost took everything down.
Remember that other cat we mentioned?
Hang on.
We're going to put up our technical difficulties.
Sassy. Come
Nope,
here.
she retired to the box.
Oh, okay. Well, I pulled the chair out because she needs something. You should always have a chair out so that
It
they
was
can...
out a little bit. Okay,
right,
let's
we're
get back to
back.
our stuff.
We're back. Sorry. Smiling soul. So the Three of Swords is interesting because, of course, you have a heart pierced by swords and you're going through a heart procedure. I'm just going to
It's
say...
the 7.
Oh, I thought you said the 3.
No, it's the 7.
Oh, I'm sorry. Huh. I could have sworn you said the 3. So the 7 of Swords is different. Sorry about that.
Okay. Well, to me, this has a medical thing about it too, because it may be that this to me expresses your level of anxiety, and that what you feel is you feel some fear here, and you feel that something is possibly going to be taken away from you. So you should try to think more positively.
Okay, I see that. I got off my bearings, so I thought that was the 3 of Swords, but okay, and the Knight of Swords reversed is interesting here. Is this an exploratory procedure? This is not something where they're fixing anything, is it? Is it exploratory?
I thought she said it was.
Oh, okay.
Let me look back and see if I can find it. Okay, just as heart procedure, so she doesn't say exploratory.
Okay. Because if it just okay, they're going in to see if there are clogs. Okay. Well, see, this explains something to me here
So it
because
is exploratory.
I sense that you are going to find there are some issues that they're going to have to go further than just that procedure. I mean, obviously, they'll probably have to bring you out of it and then tell you what they found and then go from there. Because I sense that that's what these negative cards are saying, is that there is going to be more work that's going to need to be done.
Right. The cards aren't really saying that the procedure won't go well, but
Right.
what they're saying is that your fear about what they might find or feelings about that will probably be justified, and that they will find there are some clots or some situations going on with your heart. And I also think, too, that you will want to make sure you totally listen to them after this, totally listen to your doctor, etc. This will be very important for you. That's my Knight of Swords there. Go ahead.
I'm just going to pull a couple quick because she had one more question. I sense that... See, again, there's this spyglass. I got this one before. And then I got the moon. And so basically, I think that the examination is going to be successful in that they're going to uncover things. They're going to reveal stuff. And maybe it is stuff that you need to know. But I sense it's not going to make you very happy.
Right. The moon is a card of finding out things. And some of it is about the hidden things, and of course, because it's below the surface, it is a hidden thing. I think you should just, like Claudia says, think positively. I think nursing gives us a clue here that most healing really comes from within us. Doctors or nurses can only do so much. So we're all going to say some prayers for you, and you must keep us tuned in to what's going on.
Okay, Smiling, we're going to do a quick yes/no about the loan that you're looking for, and then we got to move on. We're going to try to fit everybody in. We might go into slight overtime, but it's... I have to move the cat. That's it.
All right.
Sorry, Sonny. You know, you're welcome to be on the live stream. Look, he's going to try to attack the cards now. Sonny Cam. I got him cranky. You don't like my cards?
Hi, Tito. We're not sure if we're going to be able to get to all the readings tonight.
Yeah, Tito, we've had to cut it off with the last person. We have a few more readings to do, and that's all we can handle tonight. But I'm glad you joined us. You can tune in and pay attention and see if you want to do another. Okay, so quickly.
Nothing I do as quickly because they just fell out of my hands. They're so slippery. So there's our schedule, Tito and others. We will be back Sunday.
Cut them. Thank you. All right, this is quick for you, Smiling Soul. Whoa, that was fast. I think you could get the loan, Smiling Soul. It is looking extremely optimistic.
Yeah, this is pretty positive.
Because
3
you
aces.
have three aces. So yes, I think it is highly possible you will get the loan. And it's possible, you know, well, I don't even see a delay here. So I think it is going to happen.
Nearly immediately, but it's pretty quick.
I just drew the bear, which is personal power, and the fish, which is money and resources. So I think that's just a very positive sign that this will come through for you.
You know, a bear in a lake likes to hunt fishes, so I'm thinking it's going to happen.
Oh, wow, I didn't even think of that analogy. That's good. Good, Mr. O. So, Claudia, you are up.
Okay,
Welcome, Claudia, and your time is now. And then we have Fem82 and Suzanne, and that's going to close out our night tonight.
And the kitty cam is going to move to an auxiliary location.
Oh, no, you're showing our dirty floor?
No, I'm showing a cat in the dirty floor. And that's, you know, we buy a new toy for them and then they like the box the best.
Yeah, really. You know, the boxes from Amazon are more exciting than the beds and the toys that we buy for them.
Okay, this is an interesting question.
What do we have? Oh. Okay.
Yes or no?
Let's do a yes, no. We might want to pull some other cards on that.
Texture it.
Yeah. Oops. I want to mix these up real good.
My cam is all wonky here. There we go.
There you go. I'm sorry, I just used those
It's
again.
a very cool deck. I like it.
Oh, the before and after?
Yeah.
Or it's actually called the After Tarot. There's one called the Before Tarot and one called the After Tarot. And they're really interesting. It's an interesting concept for
Count
sure.
them away.
Well, it's possible. We got 2 aces here, which says it's leaning towards yes. And then you have the strength card reversed.
Would they be the kind of person that maybe they always try to force something to happen rather than try to understand it, that they don't believe in applying some reason, that they would rather just say, let's just fit that square peg into the round hole, that kind of personality, somebody that is a might believes right, might makes right person? Because I get the feeling that's part of the problem, is that they sort of just have this self-righteousness about them.
They don't want to let go.
Yeah.
And
So yeah, they probably are, because they think that they know what's right for you or best for you.
yeah, I sense that this person doesn't have a lot of, they may have how should I say this? They may have a tough exterior, but inside they're not so tough. And they're having a lot of issues right now, I think, dealing with this. What did you pull? Oh, I think this is saying that your intuition might be on target here. He pulled the High Priestess.
I also get the feeling too, like maybe part of the reason why they're connected to you is because you know something about them that maybe a lot of other people don't know. It's not a secret, or it might be a secret. It might be something that just not a lot of people know. And I get the feeling like maybe that sort of challenges them, that maybe they feel like maybe you have something over them.
Oh, hi, Aaron. We've had to cut off the list for tonight, but and sorry about that, but we will get you in next time, hopefully.
High Priestess sounds like a narcissist in this situation.
And let's see.
Okay, so we're pulling a couple Lenormands, Claudia. There's those dang fish again.
Yeah, the fish are coming up a lot, which is
You're welcome.
interesting. It does seem to me this person is wanting something from you, either wants you back, wants a commitment, wants something from you, and it could even be financial. I'm not sure here, but I sense that they're still hung up
And I get the feeling like
on you.
like they feel like with them, you make them shine. So part of this is sort of making them look better, because they feel like you're just somebody nice or interesting to be with them. You're part of their relationship or entourage or situation. So you're welcome, Smiling Soul. Best wishes to you. But that's what I think this card means to me.
Yep.
Alrighty.
I hope that helped. And we're going to move on to Fem 82. Hey, Fem 82.
Are you
Thanks
still
for
with
hanging
us?
with us. We'll give you a moment to get your question out there.
Could
And
be
then-
worse.
And then we've got Suzanne, and we'll call it a night. Well,
How
it was
does
great
Red
reading
feel?
for everybody today.
Thank you, Claudia.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
that.
Claudia.
Okay, how does Red feel about me? Does he want to reconnect, or has he moved on? So,
Okay, then. How does Red feel about me? Okay. Reconnector moved on. Okay, I think I can make a 3-card reading. Do you want to do your cards or these?
yeah, let's use the Egyptio.
All right. So basically, how they feel. Oh, it's not a problem, Suzanne. Hang in there with us.
No, you're our last one.
You are our last person.
And we
You-
want to do this.
Yes. So basically,
Go ahead, shuffle.
what I'm going to do, we'll ask
Oh,
how
wow.
he feels, and then we'll throw a card for each, the reconnector, move on, and see what we get. Okay.
3 cards.
Yep. Oh, Sonny's back.
Okay. We have a reversed Two of Cups. No, Three of Cups. Then we have a reversed Two of Swords. And then we have the Tower.
Yikes. So I would say right now the feelings are not that great. You know, I don't know whether it's because of, I know you said reconnect. Was there some difficult breakup or argument or something that pulled you apart? Because that still seems to be strong on Red's mind. And then we have the Two of Swords. So as far as reconnect, let me just see, reconnect goes, I sense right now that there's sort of there's movement, but I'm not really sure if it's movement towards you or away from you.
I feel like maybe Red doesn't know for themselves what they want at this point. I
Yeah.
think that there's still some really strong emotional attachment, but I also feel too that they have some other situations, decisions, and maybe they've been freed up to make some of those decisions, not necessarily because you're not connected. It might be something external to that, is what I'm thinking, like something in their job or their career field is poising them to have to make a decision about something, and they've moved into this area, but they are sort of hanging on a little bit about what was, but
I am honestly not sure they've moved on because this is the Tower card. And the Tower card seems to me, because it is upright, and you'd rather get the Tower card upright than reversed, it's as if Red is still processing stuff, not really doing anything, maybe evaluating some of the mistakes that they've made over time, and is undergoing a process of really analysis in a way, self-analysis,
right,
if that's possible.
the tower provides lessons and also confusion about the lessons, and I get the feeling like they're understanding that there's something more they should have took away, so they're probably trying to reconnect if they are, or at least reconnect themselves, because they're still hoping to understand some of this. So it's hard to say exactly if that's going to happen.
Yeah, I really sense that or the only other thing I can think of here is if I don't know if you know or not whether this person did get involved with somebody else, whether Red has been doing, involved in some other relationships or maybe some workplace drama or something like that. But it's kind of like they are processing some serious stuff right now, and I don't think that they're ready to move on either.
Yeah, I sort of think they're in a limbo. They're not exactly ready to move on,
Yeah.
but they've sort of considered it. They just have this outside thing here that's maybe propelling them in a slightly different direction, not connected to you and your situation. So we're
Yep.
going to throw a couple Lenormands and see what we got there. Sunny, I saw that,
Sonny
y'all.
will let me. I think Sonny wants to put his energy on the cards. There.
I think there's a sense that this energy should have been better. This relationship could have been better rather than a fizz out, because I feel there's some strong energies that are resonant between you to some degree. I mean, it may not have been the super greatest relationship, but we don't know because it fizzled out, I guess. What do you got?
Well, I got the Wishing Well, which is a card that Cyril Marchetti added to the Lettermond. And I also have the Book, which is a standard card in the Lenormand. And so I sense that, you may have some wishes and some desires here for where you want things to go, but it's going to take time for this to unravel still, for this to unfold one way or another. I think the book is saying there's things that are still unknown about, the situation at this
Yeah,
time.
I think
the book is kind of closed.
There's going to be some time involved in this, I think, too, because I think that this is somewhat a part of what you're looking at from your heart. It's not the most important thing to you, but it's important. But I get the feeling like right now, you're going to be waiting on them to pull their act together. So all you can really do maybe is subtly or otherwise just keep in touch.
The other things I would say about these cards here, Fem 82, is that, you know, you're wishing, you know, depending on what your wishes and desires are, you know, it may be telling you it may be time to close the book on this if you are desiring to move on, because this may play out for a long time. So it's
So
up
it's
to
okay
you.
to move on yourself.
It is okay to move on for yourself, but the other factor of this is if your wish is to bring this, rekindle this in any way, then you're going to have to, you know,
Give it
bide
more
your time.
Give it more time.
And that's what it looks like for me.
Already.
Well, thanks for waiting
Yeah.
all that time, Fem 82. And hey, Suzanne, we're closing the night with you. So, what kind of question do you have for us today?
I hope you didn't leave. Are you here?
I think she's here. She was here as of 8:57.
You're welcome, Fem 82.
You're welcome, Fem 82. Well, good luck. You know, and hang in there. It might be a little bit of a haul.
All right.
Yay.
Thanks, Smiling Soul.
Ah, smiling soul. You're too nice to us.
Smiling Soul SS and Suzanne SS.
Yay.
Something general. Let's do it.
All right, let's do something general. Let's grab my pretty... Where are they? There
He's
they
probably
are.
on top of them.
No, he's not. He's not. Okay, let's see what's going on with Suzanne. All right. Hello, Sonny. He's totally oblivious to you, Suzanne. Sorry. He's in his own... Oh, you got to shuffle. He's in his own little world here. But he does have some little teardrop action going on the eye. Aw.
He was so cute this morning because I got up on my own around
It's time to wrestle.
5:30 a.m.
Time for the cat cam.
And uncharacteristically, he was not on the bed trying to get me to wake up.
This is how... Oh, dear. This is how we wrestle. Usually he's not that violent. Ah!
Ah!
Sun man. What?
Okay.
Oh. He's biting my shirt, not me. Aw, you're silly. Yes, you are. He says, I'm going to get you.
Okay, I've caught him.
Okay. Suzanne, he just doesn't want me to do your reading.
This is crazy. Stop it,
I
Sonny.
think we have internet gold here. We'll be doing a short Sunny video soon. Look at that. You silly. Why you do that? I started it. All right.
Alrighty. So we have 3 cards.
Yes.
We have a reversed 5 of coins. We have an upright 5 of cups. I always like when we get the same number cards,
Yeah.
but opposing each other by one being reversed. I just sort of feel a weirdness there.
Sunny has left the table.
And then our final card is the King of Cups.
Well, I think this one, the 5 of coins, is a very interesting card to me because it's always better to get it reversed than upright. The 5 of coins is telling me reversed that you are undergoing a healing process right now in some way. Sometimes it's financial, sometimes it's physical because it is pentacles and that's earth and health and healing.
It's really like, feeling literally nearly at your lowest,
Yeah,
or, as low as you can remember being.
physically.
But this is that recovery afterwards. So this is really feeling like, darn, I'm starting to pull it together. To some degree, I think there's an idea about some expectations that maybe you're forced to let go, expectations about who can help you, who can't help you. Side note, somebody that I'm friends with from California who's on my feed literally had about the same last month as you did, constant regressions, antibiotics, different chemical treatments. They're feeling better, then they're back down again. So something nasty was really going on.
You're talking about that bad kitty calendar, aren't you? Yes. Sonny should have a picture on there for sure. Anyway,
So then the next card is the Five of Cups, and both of these cards sort of talk about losses.
yes.
In the first case, maybe you're recovering from some big losses. This one here is more about the idea that maybe your attitude is just suggesting you need to recognize what you still have, that it's not totally lost. You still have some good friends or some alliances. But it does express the idea that there was realistically some amount of loss, and some of it was more felt emotionally, what you felt from that. What do you want to say?
So basically, as I thought that this might be connected to health or physical concerns, this one is about the emotional toll in a way. And so what it's saying is, you really took a beating in some way and you feeling it and you just don't recognize the strength that you have in reserve here and how that you do have some things left behind. Also, this could also be about things that you've had to walk away from and leave. And you're dwelling on that as opposed to what you have left and what you have going for yourself. So, but I do see how these cards are interconnected in that if you've been under the weather, if you've been feeling lousy, this card just shows the emotional toll that that's taken on you, that you are only focusing on the drain and the problems as opposed to getting your vigor back.
I'm wondering if maybe because it all happening during and into the holiday season, if you could also, this card could also mean you're beating yourself up just a little bit because maybe you have a sense of expectations that everybody likes to have during holidays, and you felt like you weren't able to give it your best. Please, if you are feeling that, just stop that. Um, everybody knows a sick person should just take care of themselves, right?
Because rest assured, things are on the mend. You have the King of Cups here, and
This is a good sign for healing.
this an absolutely perfect sign for healing and emotional well-being as well. That you're going to start enjoying things again and get back into the swing of things. That's a very strong card to end with.
And I think this card also says that you are this kind of person yourself. You're hugely benevolent and beneficent to people, and you inspire people. And that's kind of like what this card is to me. This is the kind
He's
of
a
card.
benevolent leader.
Yeah, this is a card of a person who always thinks good things for the people that they have some amount of responsibility for. And that kind of describes you to me.
Well, I will say one thing about this king, though. Out of all the kings, he's kind of the more happy-go-lucky king. He's maybe more about the pleasures of the throne than the business. But he's got a good heart, and he is definitely beneficent. The sun card is shining on you and your home.
Oh, that's
so
nice.
It seems to me that there's some success related to home projects or the home for you in some way, or your security. I look at the home card. Maybe I extrapolated a little bit from the Lenormand to some of my own feelings of what a home symbolizes. It symbolizes security and comfort, and your home base is where you feel the most comfortable. And so I sense that there's going to be some big success coming to you. And it could be from something either with the home or something you'd work out of the home on, perhaps, as well.
Yeah, I get the feeling like maybe you probably wanted to mention it to us, but you didn't. But something's going on. And I'm wondering if it's, you guys have planned to do something around your house or something with the house. Or maybe it's something like what Banshee's saying, that it may have more to do with some
Business or something
business
you
or
work
project you're
on
doing from
at
your
the
home.
home.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
And
very
upgrade.
positive.
Yeah, it's a good. You had a good positive reading, and I'm glad you did.
Not to mention that, the sun is also about good health and energy. So there is that as well. Well, I hope that helped you, Suzanne, and I'm glad we were able to fit you in tonight. And I'm sorry who came late, Dawson. Apologies to you, Dawson, and I think it was Tito and Aaron who came back. We will catch you next time, hopefully.
Or just come back to watch the cats, because I think a couple of you did say that.
If you subscribe, you'll know when we're going live. And just try to get here right around that time and get on the list early, and we'll be sure to be able to read for you.
You give us a lot of insight too, Suzanne. You do.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We're looking forward to more. So anyway, I want to thank everybody for being here today. And we'll be back on Sunday. Check out Oberon's video on Friday, premiering Friday.
Around 9 o'clock.
His emotional outlooks for the week ahead. And we will see you Sunday, 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have hot cocoa. Whoops. I don't know if Suzanne should have heard that. We're starting our live stream with hot cocoa to celebrate my last day of vacation.
Well,
So we'll toast a hot cocoa at the beginning of the show.
it will be a day after a workout, so it should be
That,
okay.
oh, yeah, that'll work. Okay, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.